India has 400 years of banking tradition. There are plenty of banks around in India. So why is 2/3 of the population unbanked? It's a great question, because when you drive through Mumbai, you see banks everywhere, and all in the small towns, there's a bank. Well, there's a couple of different reasons. First of all, if you make $7 or $8 a day, you're pretty much moving that money around as fast as you can. You need to buy food, you need to buy clothes, you need to repay a loan, whatever you need to do. You don't have time to put it in a bank and let it rest the way we do here. First of all, you're getting paid in cash, so your boss is handing you a wad of money. Second, you're transacting as fast as you can. In my business, we call that a very transaction-intensive population. A lot of very small transactions are going on in a short period of time. A bank is really not compatible with that. Furthermore, a bank charges you fees and requires a minimum deposit and all those same things we have here in the United States. With this low-income consumer, which is, again, most of the population, that really doesn't work very well. And then there's a few counterintuitive things, or things that you might not think about, that when you go to India, you see it very graphically. So I was in a small town in India, and I asked a gentleman, why don't you use the bank? And he pointed to a building a couple of 100 yards away, and he said, do you see that building? And I said, yeah. And he said, that's the bank. He said, it's closed on a weekday. Why is it closed? The power's been out here for 6 days, and the bank can't operate. I mean, what are you going to do if your money's locked in the bank and you can't buy food? Right? So there's just lots of reasons why banking and the average Indian don't get along very well. And it's a product that's designed for people who have money, who need a safe place to put it. That's not most of the population in India. So the banking products that are out there are really not very attractive.
You know, people in India are not using the banks because they're getting paid today in cash. And these are people that are generally living 1 to 2 days of cash, right? So there's no real need for them to go deposit the funds to then go immediately withdraw those funds to go pay the merchant. Right? These are not people with credit cards or debit cards in their pocket that they want to use to make transactions. Right? These are people who are used to doing cash transactions. They get the cash and then they go and use it to pay their bills or to go pay for goods and services. So cash is what they know. And what we are trying to do is bring digital transactions to them, but allowing them to transact in cash. So they still use cash to pay our agents, but our agents are the ones who are digitizing that. So we are bringing digital transactions to these consumers, but just one step closer, not all the way.